What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today it was about the time that I tried Nano Banana to really evaluate these hypes that's going around, and it's crazy. For example, it can create like from empty layout to a space plan, from 2D space plan to 3D space plan. You can add textures, floor textures to the space plan. You can generate the rendering scene from that space plan. Then you can tweak the design, you can like change the furniture, you can add lighting, you can add wall details, and you can even change the lighting effect of the mood. I know, I feel like the entire interior design workflow is getting done on Nano Banana now. And I feel like I cracked the code. So in today's video, I wanted to show you guys 5 different ways on Nano Banana that will literally transform your interior design workflow. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome, I'm Mia, and on my channel, I share everything related to interior design. So if that's something that you're interested, stick around, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. Now, if you guys are ready, let's begin. Right, so once you're on Nano Banana, I just want to make sure that I'm using the Pro account. So make sure that you guys also have the Pro feature, because all the things I'm going to show you here are specifically for the Pro account. So make sure you guys have that as well. But the first thing you want to do is click here on the create image, and we're going to upload the first space plan. So this will be the empty one, and we're going to try and put the layouts in here. So what I'm going to describe on the tab is saying that can you remove text and arrows from the space plan. I'm just going to clean up first. So let's hit enter and see what it comes out with. And Nano Banana will do its thing. Usually it takes within like a minute, and then we have a now clean space plan to start working on. So once you're happy with the clean empty plan, now I'm going to write and ask Nano Banana to furnish this space in the living room and the bedroom. And I just also want to make sure that I'm using the Pro features, so you can kind of scroll down on here to make sure that it's on the Pro setting rather than the fast. And then once we write down the prompt, I'm gonna hit enter, and then voila, this comes out. And you know, they've put the space plan here on the living room, the bedroom, and they've also highlighted in text which area it is, so like annotate it, which is very cool. And let's say like maybe you're happy with this layout, but in my case I wanted to swap out in the living room, the living space, the sofa, and the dining room. I just wanted to swap the location. So let's ask Nano Banana to change that for us. So you can write, can you swap the dining table and the sofa layout and change the sofa to L shape, and also you can keep everything else as it is in the bedroom. So I just wanted to change the sofa size and swap out the dining area. So let's see what Nano Banana comes out with. There we go. I think it understood my prompts really well by swapping the location for the dining table and the lounge space, and it also changed the shape of the sofa into L shape as I asked, and it also kept the bedroom as it is as before, so nothing else has changed. So it's really cool, and you can keep adding the things that you want to work on. This is the space plan, and now for example I wanted to change the dining table to 6-person rectangular size. Voila, I think it came up with the shape, so I'm really happy with it. It put like 8-person chair, but you get the point, like you can actually remove the chair by actually asking them to remove it, I'm sure. But I was happy with this layout, so I moved forward with it. And then the next prompt, I've asked to remove the text from the image to clean a bit more. And there we go. Now I have a pretty neat space plan that I've asked for, that now I am going to use this image to make it into a 3D space plan. The next feature I want to show you is by using the space plan we just created. I'm going to upload this image, and then now I want to create from 2D space plan to 3D space plan. So what I'm going to prompt here is, can you make this into 3D floor plan, still maintaining the view from the top, and make it white card model, no texture or materials applied, do not change the space layout. You always want to make sure that you tell the AI, do not change this specific thing if you don't want this to be changed, otherwise they don't really understand it. So always make sure what you don't want to change. And now I'm just gonna make sure this is in the Pro setting, and then let's hit enter and see what comes out with. And voila, I think it's a pretty neat like 3D white card model, exactly the same layout as we had as the 2D space plan. So I'm really happy. There's no texture applied. It's a clean white card model. So we can move forward with this. And now I want to apply a floor finish into this 3D model. So what I've typed here is, can you apply floor texture of wooden floor as the attached image? Do not apply any material to furniture or wall, only floor. and I've uploaded the floor texture that I wanted to use, which is the timber floor. And once you've updated the image, I've just told them to add the shadow and keep the 3D floor plan view as it is as well, just to make sure that I didn't want any change, and hit enter and see what it comes out with. And voila, I think it's a pretty good result here as well, because it's exactly the same model as before. No layout's been changed, but it just understood to apply the materials on the floor. So I think it's a really high quality of not modifying the previous image. I think AI have struggled before where it changed like the previous image multiple times. So I feel like this is a really good result. So from this image, now I wanted to show you a feature where we can create a view into the space. And let's say I want to see a view maybe standing by the dining table looking into the living space with the L-shaped sofa and the TV area. I wanted to see this view, how I'm going to prompt it. So in this case, I've asked ChatGPT's help because it's a language model and it's pretty cool with the prompting. So I'm going to bring this image basically into ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to basically say that I'm using Nano Banana and I want to get a rendered scene of the living room from this space plan fully visualized, and how can I prompt it better. And ChatGPT will basically help you with the prompts already. So it will basically tell you that what's important is to specify all of these points. So like what room to render, camera position, design style, lighting, materials, objects already visible on the plan, render quality, and so on. And you can either prompt it yourself. And of course, ChatGPT has this example prompt, which says, using the provided floor plan as reference, generate a photorealistic interior render of the living room located in the top left area with the L-shaped sofa and coffee table. And I'm not going to read the rest of it, but you get the point. It's very accurate, and I think it has all the details that it needs to create the render view. So I'm just going to rely on ChatGPT for now and copy this prompt and bring it back. I've copied the text into Nano Banana, and I'm going to paste it on the description chat box and just hit enter, and let's see what it comes out with. And there we go, we have a view like that is very accurate to my space plan. As you can see, like the camera is just positioned by the dining area. You're like looking towards the living space. The only thing I would say is that you can see like on the left-hand side, there is a window, and on my space plan, it's just a wall. So that's the only thing I would notice that it's slightly different from maybe the model, but otherwise the view I'm really happy with, and like the style of the sofa is very accurate, and yeah, I'm really happy with this render. So now we're going to use this image as a starting point, and we're going to refine it and like keep adding elements to make it as we want to design this space. So the first thing I'm going to ask is basically, like I said, I'm going to make the left-hand side wall into a solid wall. So I've asked Nano Banana to, can you change the left-hand wall to solid wall without window, keep the rest of the space as it is, and then let's hit enter. And basically, this is the result that Nano Banana is giving. So they didn't change anything but the left-hand side wall, and now the window has been removed. It's a solid wall. And I basically also wanted to expand this view into a little bit more landscape and show the dining table. So what I asked Nano Banana is, I've said, can you create the render and landscape view and show a little more dining table and dining chair? Do not change the angle and the perspective, but just move back a little, and then I've hit enter. And voila, now you can see the dining table, a little bit further out view, and it's the landscape view. When you're not happy, you can keep adding and ask Nano Banana to refine the details. For example, I didn't want to have the return on the left-hand side, so I just asked Nano Banana to keep the wall without having the return, keep the rest of the space as it is. And I think this is the image that now I feel like I want to be working, keep adding the elements on the design. So pretty happy with this result. Once we're happy with the image, let's download this and save to our laptop, because I've noticed like the longer you keep asking Nano Banana on the same chat, it slowly starts performing like not great. So I recommend like every like few prompts that you've asked and updated the image, download them and start in a new fresh chat. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've opened the new chat now, and I'm going to upload back the image that I've just saved. So create image and upload file. I'm going to bring back render that's just created. And the first prompt is basically asking, maybe can you add the Scandi style pendant light above the dining table? Because I think that's something that was missing in this element. So I wanted to start by adding the lighting. And at this stage, the design doesn't actually matter because we can change that later on. But I just wanted to have that in the view so we can start working on it. So now that we have this render, the next prompt that I'm going to write is basically the position of the camera. So what I've asked is to lower the camera around 140 millimeter high from the floor and angle parallel to the window. As you can see, the angle is kind of like looking down a little bit. So I wanted to make it straight to the window view. So let's hit enter. And here we go. I think it corrected the camera angle quite straight into the window. So I'm happy with this angle now. And the next prompt that I'm going to ask is basically, I wanted to add some kind of like a neoclassical molding detail on a wall. So basically, I tried out to prompt myself, can you add neoclassic wall details to the left and right wall and simple ceiling molding as the reference image attached. Do not change the view or design on the other areas and keep as it is. And I've added the reference image as you can see here. But basically it just didn't do what I've asked you. I simply wanted to add the details on my reference image or like the render we worked before, but it didn't do. So I've decided to basically rely on ChatGPT again. I think it's really difficult to prompt it yourself because you have to be so accurate. So I brought back the render that we've just worked on, the last one, and basically asked ChatGPT to say, I want to add neoclassical detail to the wall using the reference image and how I could prompt it. And ChatGPT is great. So like it would help you to prompt exactly how you should be doing. So I'm not going to go through the details, but I've done exactly the same process of copying this example prompt. Basically, if you go up here, you can edit the prompts that you've just worked on. So like I'm just going to edit and then change the prompts completely. And we already have uploaded the image. So basically I'm just going to hit enter again and see what it does, and voila, I think it understood it better, so much better than my prompts. So I think the advice is whenever you want to add or change the view from the previous like view that you're working, I would recommend using ChatGPT for prompts, definitely, because otherwise you're wasting time just trying to prompt yourself. So yeah, I would highly recommend using the ChatGPT for the prompt. And now that we have the molding details, I'm happy. So like the next thing I'm gonna ask is to add this artwork on the left-hand side wall between the molding frame. I just wanted to fit this artwork, in the middle. And we have the same problem now. It just didn't understand because I prompted by myself. So I'm going to bring this back into ChatGPT, ask the same prompt and say that I want to add the artwork on the left-hand wall and how I can prompt this detail. So it will give me this prompt again. So I'm going to copy and then bring back to Nano Banana, edit this tab here again, and then just paste it. And then let's hit enter because I'm sure this will work now. And here we go. I think it understood better than me for sure. I wasn't sure if the artwork was accurate enough. So I've basically like edited prompts from ChatGPT to use this reference image artwork as accurate as possible, and then re-hit enter again. And now it used the artwork as the image. So like the color is more accurate. So I feel like the more detail you give to Nano Banana, the better, and it preserves like the elements that you're working, for example. And the next thing I wanted to do is to basically change the pendant light. So now I've learned my lesson. So rather than me prompting, I'm going to just ask ChatGPT how I can prompt, even though it's just changing the light. But I want to make sure that I get the most detailed prompt. So I'm going to do the same process, copy the prompt, bring it back here, and then I'm going to upload the image of the light that I want above the dining table, make sure it's a pro setting, and then hit render again. And something has come up. Let's see. Okay, so this is not what I was expecting. Like it just completely created in a new scene or like the reference image. But I do love this style though. Like I love when, you get some image that you weren't thinking, but you just love the design. So I'm gonna seal this reference for later. I love this like dining table and stuff, but this is not what we were asking for. So let's maybe go back and edit the prompt. And I'm basically going to just insert saying, keep rest of the furniture lighting as it is. I move this one, and then I don't want to like the layout to be changed. So I gave a little bit more details. And let's see what it does. And I was a bit annoyed because it still didn't do anything. So I thought the problem maybe was that I was on the single chat too long. Like I've asked to modify quite a lot of things already. So I've downloaded the last render image that I was working, and I decided to start a new chat again. So let's go into the new chat, create image, upload the file that we've been working on the last render. And basically, I'm gonna start this prompt by saying if we could improve the quality of this render, because I think you can only upload one image at the time. I'm not too sure. I just wanted to try out first. So basically, I've asked to improve the quality. So not changing any design, but now we have a base to work on. And now I'm going to bring back the prompt about the pendant light, swapping the pendant light from ChatGPT, and upload the reference image as before. And then let's hit enter, see what it comes out with. And there we go. Now we have what we wanted, or now what I wanted. So they've understood the last image and they've only swapped the lighting from this render. So yeah, this is really good quality. So I guess, yeah, if you're stuck, maybe create a new chat again and then see if that helps you to do the work that you're asking. And then the next thing I wanted to do is to change the dining chairs. So now we know, rather than me prompting, let's go to ChatGPT and ask for the prompt. So I'm just going to ask how we can prompt it, and let's copy the examples given. I'm going to copy and paste, upload a file of my reference image for the dining chair. And this is like some reference that we saw earlier. I'm going to use this rattan type of chair as reference, and let's hit enter. And voila, I think it created a beautiful render in my opinion. I think one thing I want to change is maybe there's too many chairs on the front, like there's 3 and then 2 in the back. So I want to have like 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and like total 6. So this is something I wanted to work on, but otherwise happy with the quality of the chair. It looks exactly like the image that I've uploaded. So very impressive. I've basically did the mistake of like prompting myself again. So I've asked to reduce the dining chair just to 2 on the side, and I've tried a couple of times, but it kept not working. So I had to go back to ChatGPT and ask for this prompt. You know, I just wanted to try anyway, but let's go back to ChatGPT, and I told ChatGPT that I wanted to move one of the chair in the front. And then obviously ChatGPT gave me amazing prompts that I could work and copy. So I just took this reference, brought it back to Nano Banana, and let's edit this prompt that I've worked on and paste this again. And let's hit enter and let's see how, there we go. I mean, yeah. The learning is that you should always use ChatGPT for prompts now, okay? Like, don't even try doing that yourself, because you're gonna waste your time. And it's so much faster if you just ask ChatGPT to prompt it for you. So that's the learning. Last thing I want to do and show you is the feature how we can modify like the outside view, for example, and the lighting. So the first thing I'm going to do is, again, on a new chat, bring in the render that we've just worked on. And I basically simply started the prompt by saying, can you improve the quality of this render to high resolution and add more natural light? And now we have a little bit better kind of lighting scene here. And what I'm going to show you now is I thought maybe the background image was too vivid, like I didn't really want it to see. It took away the attention from the interiors. So I've asked Nano Banana to basically rework on the background to make it a bit blurry. So let's hit enter, and there we go. I think it made the background blurry. So I'm really happy with this result. And now I'm going to show you that we can actually create the sunset time view as well. So you can just type in that you want a sunset view on this render and it will create like that. And then you can also do like a nighttime view as well. So you can ask Nano Banana to do that. And there we go, create a different mood in the scene. So I think these are the all features that I experimented and wanted to show you guys today. That was all for today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful. I would love for you to try out these prompts and see what comes out, and like leave on the comments and share your experience. I would love for you to also share if you find any new ways we can use Nano Banana on interior design workflow. So do share that in the comments so we can help each other as well. As always, please like this video if you've enjoyed, and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to see you again on my channel, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.